Hey everybody, welcome to My Chamber TV. I know you don't have Barbara today. You got me again. Poor Barbara, she's down. She's got the laryngitis type of thing going on. But let me tell you something. We're at one of the coolest places. And if you like cocktails and you like good wines, we're at Superior Wine and Spirits. And this is their back room. I don't want to leave. This is Arlo by Henderson, by the way. And he's our first guest. And I don't want to leave. This is really like, I could just live here, just throw some bread under the table every night. I'm a good guy, right?
Can we get a barbecue in the back, some steaks or something?
Let's look at the owners over there. Hey, owners, can we get a barbecue? Well, I got the thumbs up. We'll never leave. This is a great place. Anyway, so Arlo B. Henderson, right? You are with State Farm Insurance. Now, you're a returning guest for My Chamber TV.
Yes, I am.
This is awesome. I like it when you guys come back and see me. But, you know, there's a lot of diversity here with Mr. Arlo because he's not just your insurance guy, right? So let's talk about, so how you doing?
I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
How's the business been?
Business has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
A lot better. It's interesting. COVID has kind of given us an opportunity to kind of regroup and retool. I think when things like this happen, you got two options. You can get better or you can get bitter.
Exactly.
And we decided to get better. So we're doing a much better job of what we do every day, really having some better conversations with the clients that we're working with.
Right.
And as an organization, we've become a lot more competitive. We've actually started to nichealize some of our products to better fit the current environment. So it's been a fun time to be doing what I'm doing.
It really did make us think about our business models and plans, you know, whether we're going to get lean and get mean. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, but I mean, we did. A lot of us were like, okay, well, we didn't need this fat. We didn't need this fat. Let's cut it, you know, but insurance-wise, for the COVID, that kind of changed a little bit, right, in the world?
Yeah, so what we're seeing now is there's starting to be a change in what happens with insurance in general, because now if you think about all the new risk factors that are part of our lives today that weren't there before. You think about everything from riots and melees and things of that nature, but you also have COVID. So now if you think about a life insurance policy or a disability policy and things of that nature, how do you assess people's risk today? Right? 6 months ago, you know, 35-year-old gal was relatively healthy, going to the gym a couple days a week, not overeating, doing okay, easy to understand the risk, right? Percentages worked out. We had historical data for almost 100 years, easy stuff. Now, people work from home. Right, they're around their house a lot more. Where do most accidents happen? In the home. Right, so you got people that are not driving quite as much, but there are other risks that are coming along. And now COVID, because there's no way to, it's not like people walk around with a rag on to say they have COVID, right?
Right.
You don't know who has what. We don't know how it's going to affect people in the long term. So we're starting to see some changes in what we see and what's available in the marketplace to protect your family and your health in those regards. So yeah, it's a major change in that way.
Now you cover all aspects, right?
We do.
Auto, health, wealth, home.
Exactly.
Okay, so did you notice an uptick in home policies?
Tremendous uptick. First of all, we've modernized our product, right? We had this product that was just way better than everybody else, and it's still much better than everybody else's, but we modernized the product, took some things out, moved some things around, made some other coverages optional now, but enhanced the offering. So overall, what we did was we gave people a better policy with a better price, and we increased our multi-line discounts. So now we get everything together. It's helping out a lot. And what we've been having conversations with people about is more general liability. Because today, you don't know what you're going to get sued for, what's going to impact is going to happen. So you need to make sure that you're protecting yourself. And the home is the foundation of that coverage. And the things we like to talk about are loss of use. What happens if you can't live in your home because it's burned down or whatever happens? How much time do you have from your current insurance policy to recover? What about if things become more expensive? Like right now, trying to find a contractor may be more expensive. Supplies are more expensive. How do you deal with the increased cost of coverage? And then my biggest one is, who's actually seen the house? Right. You want your things replaced. You care about it. You took time shopping for this, picking out that, painting that. Has anybody been to your house, or did they do a replacement cost estimator that actually knows what you have to protect? And do you know, have you taken a video camera and looked at everything and made an itemization? And do you know what it's really going to take? And does your policy reflect that? So what we're seeing now is a lot of people getting a lot more serious about their coverages, getting into more detail, and some of the ancillary or optional coverages we provided to increase the value of the policy. All that stuff is going on.
Lean and mean.
Lean and mean.
It's time to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and as of now, we're in the height of hurricane season. So, got any advice for those people at home going, hey, I really haven't called Arlo lately, and I probably need to see what's going on?
This is late, but if you have not done so, because it's still happening.
Oh, yeah.
Get on the phone with your insurance agent, get an appointment. Take the time, sit down, go through and find out what it does. Ask questions. For me, My biggest sales pitch is it's the policy I have on my house.
Yep.
Like, one thing I can tell you is that they can't give me enough commission for me to put my house in jeopardy. So I trust this policy with my house. I trust giving it to you at your house as well.
Right.
But I do want to make sure you understand what it does, how it works, what your responsibilities are, what our responsibilities are, and how that works. And for us, one of our big advantages is I can come up with a check the first day. So your house burns down, I can show up today. If it's if it's a disaster, where like a hurricane, some of that, a tornado, whatever it is, I can come with $10,000, and that's the first day. And for some people, that makes all the difference. Yeah. Right.
Gets them through that little, oh my, get me assessed.
The last thing you want to be worried about when your whole world is turned upside down is how am I going to get into an apartment, where my family's going to be, and that kind of thing, right?
Right, exactly.
You can't find your debit card.
Well, as I'm saying, if you pick up quick and you have to go, you're not thinking. You're not thinking.
Right.
Period. And that typically is where it goes. So, and now let's just touch on insurance.
Okay.
Like, so there's a difference between storm policy and insurance on your house, right? Because you have a hurricane
wind and liability. So we're looking at there's fire coverage, what everybody's familiar with, and then there's the wind piece of it.
Okay.
So normally on our policy, it's called a hurricane deductible. So you can adjust your hurricane deductible differently from your other deductible, all peril deductible, which gives you some flexibility on pricing wise as well. But you can determine how much you want us to be responsible for in the event of something like that happening. So what people need to understand is you need to look and see, do you have a separate deductible for your hurricane? You need to see, do you have like catastrophic ground coverage versus sinkhole? Right. You need to see what happens if your house is fine, but the wires to your home are destroyed, your AC is destroyed by a lightning strike. Little things like that can damage your home, make it unlivable or really inconvenient, so to speak.
Yep.
We want things to become aggravations, not devastations. So.
Right. So what about vehicles? What about vehicles during all this time? I mean, because you're on, well, I get a 15% discount because of COVID, and then a storm rolls through, and next thing you know, you got a vehicle that can't work because there's a tree on it, or upside down, or it's in a tree. Yeah, true. Right?
Honestly, that's probably the easiest thing we do is replacing the vehicle. What happens the more challenging piece of it is, how do I write a policy appropriately enough to protect the person in the vehicle and their family? Right? Because I got to protect them from a few things. 4 things can happen, right? You can hurt somebody else, you can hurt yourself, you can damage their vehicle, you can damage your own. Right? So if I'm trying to protect those things, what I'm really focused on is the liability piece of that coverage, and I want to make sure that your assets are protected, that you're using my pool of money instead of yours. If your car is up in a tree, or if it's damaged in the home, or there's a challenge between the two, having all your policies with one company makes that conversation a lot easier. When insurance companies fight, the customer loses, right? So if you get everything with me, we can get it all in one place. We're negotiating with ourselves. We always win. You win. That's kind of how it works.
So tell me something about State Farm that most people don't know, or would surprise them.
We're about the only national carrier for homeowners insurance in Florida. We give you the ability to kind of adjust your own price with our Drive Safe and Safe tool because the updates are so immediate. Ours does not penalize you, right, for driving poorly, because otherwise I would probably paying twice as much as everybody else.
I'd be getting the national emergency insurance. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So what we do is we offer you the opportunity to be able to manage your driving, get some tools and tricks and things of that nature to help them out. But to me, the biggest thing about State Farm is different and specifically in our agency, is the people. We actually care. We live in your community. We care. Our agents are independent contractors. You can't just buy a State Farm agency. You have to go through a filtering process to be approved to get an agency. You have to train for a year before you can even open your doors. You have all these things put in place ahead of time to make sure that we're working with you appropriately. And most of us have either worked for the organization at some point, have family members that work for the organization, but our connection to the carrier itself, to State Farm, the mother farm, is really tight, and that allows us to be able to do what we need to do for the people that we protect, for their families and their lifestyles. And more importantly, I think the biggest thing people don't understand is we're whole life insurance. So it's not just about protecting what you have, but it's also about protecting your future income and also planning for retirement. A lot of what I do specifically as the agent is I sit down with people and work on their life plans and work on their investment strategies. I was the vice president of, at the biggest bank in the country, working with the most affluent clients in the private bank group. I can give you advice that you'd have to have $1 million to get for free. So why would you not have an opportunity to sit down and do that, right?
So you're like Jake from State Farm?
You know what?
Except you're Arlo.
Exactly. Exactly.
So let's talk about. Let's talk. I mean, I know we got a couple of minutes left here going. We've got 1 minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about Arlo.
Okay.
Tell our audience what Arlo does that's different from everybody else. Why should they call you?
Here's what you should call me, right? The biggest advantage you have working with me is this: I have a genuine concern for people. Above and beyond all of this stuff, right? What I really care about is making a difference in people's lives. And if I can help you sit down with me and have a real candid conversation,
right,
where I get to know you, you get to know me, and we can have a conversation where we can build up some trust. You can share with me what your dreams and goals are,
right,
find out where you are and what gaps you have in between where you are and where you want to be, and we can work together on a plan. Unlike anybody else, I'm going to be in that agency for the next 30 years.
That's awesome.
So I can actually watch your plan go to fruition. And if the worst thing would have happened, I'll be the person sitting with your family to help them know how much you cared about them when I have to present them whatever legacy gift you decided to give.
All right, so there you have it. You got to call Arlo. The insurance, he'll take care of you. All of it, right?
891-SAVE. 813-891-SAVE. Give me a call.
So, hey, look, stick around. We got more great guests coming, and we'll be back in, I don't know, probably about 15, 30 seconds. Right back.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody, we're back. My Chamber TV. Yes, right. It's the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. That's right. We're over in Oldsmar today. And again, we're at Superior Wine and Spirits. And hey, Lonnie, have you tried anything yet?
Not yet.
I know. I'm waiting for the bottles to start getting opening and pouring and all that kind of stuff. Hey, we're here with Lonnie Veasley from Murphy Business Sales. Now, we're not talking about Murphy beds, folks. We're talking about business here. If you have a business, and you know we all start a business and we all love our business, but eventually we want to get out of our business because we all want to retire. Well, this is the man right here that you're going to go to and say, hey, Lonnie, I need to sell my business. Can I? And you're either going to be, well, yeah, or, oh, but, okay, so tell me about Murphy.
Well, we're a company. We've been in business since 1991.
Okay.
The corporate headquarters is actually located in Clearwater, and I work out of the corporate office. We specialize in selling companies. We also do business valuations. We have about 250 offices nationwide and 15 in Canada. And that's all we really do. We do sell commercial real estate if there's a business attached to it, but we don't deal with commercial real estate if it's an empty building. It has to be a business that's profitable. So we sit down, meet with the business owner, look at all their financials, look at the operation, perform a valuation on that, and let them know, hey, you know, we can sell your business for $2 million, $5 million, and from that point, you know, we put their business on the market.
But you really dig, right? I mean, it's not like you go in there and go, hey, face value, this is what we'll just sell it for this. You really dig and go, okay, this is really what it's worth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I really dig. I mean, I get asked all the time, like, you know, what's my business worth? Can you tell me real quick, just give me your guesstimate? But, you know, we have to dig. We have to look at the last, 3 years financials, corporate tax returns. We have to look at, the competition. We have to look at the customer concentration. If it's a company that has a lot of customers, but one customer is more than 10 or 15% of the business, so that can be a problem. It's the risk for the buyer. So there's a lot of things we look at. Another big thing is how involved is the business owner involved in that business. Can they walk away or take a vacation for 2 or 3 weeks? So those are things we look at. Because
sometimes the business is around the business owner.
That's it. That's correct.
And if that business owner steps away,
yeah,
it's sometimes is not a good.
That is correct. What I've actually been telling people lately, the last, I want to say, years, I tell them, listen, I'm sorry, I don't sell people, I sell businesses. So I'm not a business coach. I refer them to a coach that can help them get set up that way. But yeah, it's got to be not wrapped around the business, but around the employees.
So in a way, I guess a business owner is what their goal is to try to work themselves out of a job, right? Be where if I walk away, I mean, it don't matter. It runs just fine.
That's correct.
Okay, that's a big. Now, I'm going to jump back real quick. So
okay.
If I'm starting a business, now, I personally, John Gasson, this is my personal belief is people should go meet with you before they start a business, because you can tell them if it's a feasible business plan, because it's a red ocean, blue ocean thing. I think we talked about that earlier. It may not be feasible to start a business, or you may find somebody, well, I've already got someone that's doing this, and you can buy their business.
That's correct. Yeah, you always definitely want to begin with the end in mind, and if your goal is to sell it one day, there are certain businesses that aren't sellable, so definitely talk to me beforehand. Doesn't hurt. But I will say this, selling businesses as far as what you're going to get at the end, It's kind of a disappointment. You know, you have a business for 20, 30 years. You're doing $1 million in sales, and you're bringing in $200,000 a year. The business may be worth $500,000-$600,000. Some business owners think they're going to get all their 20 years when they own that business, but it's not. You're really only going to get 2 to 4 years of income of that business. So the really goal is to save your money over those years. Because sometimes they come to me and they're expecting this $2 to $3 million
check.
And I'm like, well, it's worth $600,000. That's the tough part. So talking to me before you sell your business, definitely 3 years before you sell your business is very important.
This is an important side because that's really your look back is 3 years.
That's correct.
Because 10 years ago the market could have been completely different, and everything was moving and grooving, and then business changes, models change, and then next so you're really looking at that little tight window.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every buyer is looking back 3 years. Sometimes they go back 5 years, but definitely 3 years. So right now, all the companies that I'm selling, they want to know what's going on in 2020, and obviously this is a strange year, and they want to see what's happening.
I was sorry, are you busy?
Actually, it is. They're busy. We are having some issues closing out some deals because the PPP issues. Some of the sellers took out PPP loans, and obviously the buyer doesn't want to take on that liability.
That debt, right.
They still haven't come up with the forgiveness options yet. So that's been a little bit of a challenge lately. But people are still buying businesses right now.
So if I own a business, here's a question for you because it spurred in the head. If I own a business but I'm leasing the property, I'm still able to sell that business as long as the new owner or the owner of that building is okay?
Yes, so that's one of the things we do. We work with the landlord. So I would say about 80% of the businesses in the state of Florida, at least, the owners lease their building. So when we get a buyer and they put in an offer, everything's under agreement.
Right.
One of the steps is contingent on the new buyer getting a lease similar to the other landlord. So if the previous seller had a lease that was $2,000 a month, but all of a sudden he wants to jack that up to $4,000 for the next buyer. Well, that's going to mess up the cash flow. It's going to lower the price of the business. And I've had some deals done where the landlord just doesn't want to give that new buyer a lease for whatever reason. I've had some where they just couldn't stand that seller and they wanted to spite that seller. So you really want to have a good relationship with your landlord.
Yeah, you want to keep that clean and easy. But if I have a business and I own my building, that's part of the business. And I know you're not into commercial sales, but you can help sell that part.
We can sell it together. We could actually sell the business and building together, or we can do it separately. Now we won't sell the building by itself. If we sell the business and they still own the building and they still want to continue to sell it, then we'll refer it to a commercial realtor to sell that.
Right. Okay. So, I know this is a broad question, so what kind of businesses right now are hot trying to sell?
The hot ones are the HVAC, commercial, commercial and residential. Plumbing is a really, really hot one right now because people, during the coronavirus, they still need to get their toilets fixed, the AC fixed.
It's a demand thing.
The kitchen cabinet companies those were hot during this time. People were at home and they were sick and tired of looking at their old kitchen cabinets and things like that. So those were hot. Obviously, the COVID-related businesses, the kind that do the air environmental testing, those are really hot businesses right now. The ones that aren't hot, obviously, are your bars and restaurants. Those are ones that are shut down.
Yeah, kind of hard to move those right now. That's a tough inventory.
It is, and thank God I don't sell a whole lot of those. I did when I first started about 9 years ago, but it's still sellable businesses if they bounce back. If they don't bounce back, then that's the problem. And banks are still lending on these businesses, even if they have a 2-month gap. Everyone's just kind of taking that as the whole
it was
Corona
a hiccup
deal
that everybody had to deal with.
Correct.
It's okay.
Correct.
Type of thing.
Correct.
Wow, that's amazing. So, how long have you been doing this?
Almost 9 years. This November will be 9 years.
That's a long. That's a long time to be doing this. Any horror stories that you can say people go, hey, this is what you need to do and don't do this, or this is a slam dunk type of thing?
Oh, I thought you meant horror stories as far as personal horror stories in this business. But the main thing is really just keeping your books clean. You have to show if you got a business where you have cash and you're hiding the cash, that's a problem. If you have
that's that 2-book rule, right?
The 2-book rule. Listen, if you do what you want to do for 20 years, but if you're 3 years out for selling your business, then start showing things. I get this all the time where we look at the P&L and I see, $30,000 for office supplies, and they say, hey, Lonnie, we only spend, $5,000 in office supplies. That's just extra stuff. That stuff you want to stop 2 or 3 years before you sell, because every dollar you take from the IRS, I can give you $3 back when you sell your business.
Really?
Oh yeah, because it's a multiple. It's all a multiple.
Okay, I have a question for you. And I'm hoping we have enough time to do this one. So say you got a business, right, and a lot of his business is barter. How can that be shown as book as income, or is that kind of they need to stop doing that 3 years out to have actual real money coming in?
I would probably not do that, because that's the buyer is always worried about, are they going to be able to continue those same relationships with the next owner or with the next vendors and things like that. So I probably wouldn't want to do that.
Right. Any other advice for the business owners out there that are potentially going, okay, I got to start thinking about selling?
Well, after the clean books and records, the second most important thing is having the business not dependent on you. I'm not saying it has to be absentee or you can leave for a year, but you have to have some employees there. You have to have systems and operations in place, having manuals and just having things documented, because every buyer that I've talked to over the last 9 years, they always ask, why are they selling? Why are they selling your business? That's because they're scared. They're scared to death. It's not like a house where they can just live in the house. They can rent the house out. It can evaporate quickly. And so they spend $300,000, $1 million and it's gone. So every buyer is really scared. So you need to make sure that you show everything as far as your financials, show all the documentation that the next buyer can actually run the company. You want to make sure that the buyer feels comfortable that they can do what that previous owner did.
Make sure you're not needed.
That's correct.
That's the biggest thing. So how can people get a hold of you?
My phone number, 727-238-4074, or you can go to murphybusiness.com. Those are the best ways, really.
There you go. Sorry, if you've got a business and you're going, hey, you know what? I need to retire. I need to get out of this. I want to go RVing or travel the world. Give this man a call. He'll get you going now, because you got to have that 3 years thing. So you got a little bit of time, but it lets you do it the right way. Hey, stick around. We've got more great guests. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, we're back again. We are at Superior Wine and Spirits, and you know how hard my self-control is at the best it's ever been, because I am surrounded by stuff that I just want to pop open and go. Grr, 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 grr. It looks good, especially Jan stuff. I'm like, if you're a wine connoisseur, this is really good. But we're here with Michael Przybycin. Right, and we are your Tidal Wave Auto Spa. You're in Oldsmar.
Yes, sir.
And you just opened up?
We just opened. It was about a month ago, which was August.
During a pandemic. Good for you,
man. During a pandemic, not scared of it. We're gonna.
That's right. We're getting through this.
Need clean cars.
Right, exactly. Yes. So you're making them clean. So let's talk about Tidal Wave and really what you guys are about and what you do.
Okay. We're kind of trying to revolutionize the whole car wash game. If you come by our property, which is on Tampa Road, you'll see that it's more than just a car wash on the piece of property.
Right.
We focus a lot on the landscaping, a lot of trees, a lot of grass, a lot of rock, where we have a rock waterfall right there along the road. To really give that experience, we want that full service experience.
Right.
A lot of places can clean cars, and obviously we go leaps and bounds above the competition as far as what we put in our tunnel. But we want the entire experience from start to finish to be that. We want the perfectly clean car. We want the beautiful property. We want the customer service to be impeccable.
Right.
Just taking that next step to really making the car wash an experience.
So it's better than going down to Shell, who's got a car wash where you're going to put some stuff in and you drive in and all this pink and blue and yellow crap hits your car.
We've got some colored soap too, and I'll let the competition handle themselves.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about us, and we do what we do, and we do it well.
It was beautiful. I drove by this morning on the way to the shoot, right? And I'm like, oh, that guy's going to be on today.
Yes.
And I'm like, wow, that is it's pretty.
Yeah.
I have to say, it's pretty.
Yeah, and that's company standard across the board. We've got over 50 locations, and all of them really focus on that landscape aspect, that
is
customer
awesome.
service, and that perfectly clean car. That's what we do at Tidal.
And you take almost 97% of the cars on the road, correct? Other than, of course, the one I drive. It won't fit.
A
but-
vast majority. There's a few on the risk side of things as far as going through our tunnel.
Yeah.
Excessively wide trucks. We can't do like a dually with the two wheels in the back.
Right.
Like you're mentioning your Hummer.
I got a Hummer,
we can
right.
do an H3, but the H2 and H1 just a little bit too wide
Right.
for it. But I've seen some pretty big trucks come through.
Yeah.
There, so we can fit. If you any doubt, stop by. We'll check it out there.
Okay, so so you got 4 great packages.
Yes.
Right. Let's talk about so you can go in there for $20 and get a tire shine, rain repellent, and a triple coat clean wash. Right.
Right, and that's the unlimited package you're looking at there.
Oh.
So all of those are
look
unlimited.
At that. Yeah. See, that's what happens. You don't read. Don't pay attention to what you're doing. Let's talk about this unlimited washes.
Sure, we do have individual. You want to come in, just get your car washed, one and done. That's fine. We can do that. But we find a lot more success, and our customers are very happy. One of the first car washes to do an unlimited plan, where they range from $19.99 to $39.99, and that's one wash per day for the entire month.
So that beats. So I can see why you're doing that, because I was one of these kind of guys that if I went and washed my cars and it rained within 24 hours,
Right.
I went back.
Sure.
Right, because I want my car clean.
Right.
So this is, but I mean, for I'm looking at the 39. Okay, that's the unlimited, right?
All of it, what you're looking at right
Right.
there are the unlimiteds.
That is a lot.
Yes.
I mean, I can sit here and go through every single one of these. I mean, no, I'm not gonna, because you go online, because that's great.
Yeah.
And so I can come every day and get my car washed.
Yes, we can.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
That's crazy.
Almost 365 days a year.
Almost.
Yeah.
All right.
Easter, Christmas.
Easter and Christmas. Gotta have, gotta have
Thanksgiving.
Christmas. Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Something for the staff.
That's absolutely phenomenal. So where did this concept come from?
It's actually started in 1999.
Okay.
It's based out of Thomaston, Georgia. Our owner, Scott, actually owns all of the, it's not a franchise, so he owns all of the locations across the state. And like I said, there's 8 states and over 50 locations.
Wow.
And it's growing. It's one of the fastest growing
That's the
car
guy who
washes
wants
in
to
the industry.
keep our cars clean.
Yeah,
That is phenomenal.
it does.
So, okay, so what's the hours over there?
We're open at 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Again, kind of breaking that mold there. You see a lot of car
Right.
washes close at 6, 7 o'clock. We're open until 9 p.m. every
Yep.
day. And open at 8. So, I mean, we got people in line at 7:55 waiting to get their car washed.
I'm
on the
getting
way
my
to
car
work.
cleaned. I'm gonna
got
go to
people
work.
coming
I'm
in on
gonna
their
look
way
good.
home late at night, too. So,
That's now now is that if you do the $39.99 and you just pay that every month?
Yes.
Or is it now? Will it auto bill, or does it?
it auto bills on the same date. So if you were to buy it today, which is the 16th of
Mm-hmm.
September, on October 16th, it would recharge automatically onto your
Wow.
card. We do have a promotion going on, just so you know, that for the month of September till the end of September, you can get any of these plans for $9.99.
What?
So our least expensive basic watch is $10 for one wash.
Wow, okay.
You can do any one of our unlimited memberships, including the $39.99, which is $25 per single wash, for $9.99 unlimited for the first month.
That is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, we did it last month. We're doing it again this month.
So do you find and I'm just going to be because we're honest here on this channel.
Sure.
Do you find a deterrent that people don't want to, like me? I don't want to vacuum my car,
Right.
but you got tons of vacuums out there.
Right. Yeah. I guess you'd be the anomaly. We don't get a whole lot.
I am the weird one. I am
you
weird.
seem
It's okay.
special to me.
Yeah, I am very special.
We
I have a helmet and shoes to prove it. Just saying.
we definitely respect everything that's going on as far as the COVID
Right.
goes. So we try to prevent access into the vehicle itself. If we're
Nice.
addressing a customer in the car, we do wear the mask. And I mean, we kind of do it sparingly because of the heat out there. We've got a lot of hard workers out there,
Yeah.
and it's hot. But if we're actually approaching a vehicle, we'll be covered up, and we don't want to be going into vehicles too much, just because we want to
no.
respect people's privacy and
Right.
everything going on.
So okay, so if I go through get my car washed, it's a free vacuum.
Yes.
That's absolutely phenomenal.
And if you're a member, even if you don't get your car washed, you can still use our vacuums anytime.
really,
Yeah.
So
and
if I
and
mean,
the vacuum charge, if you aren't a member and don't want to get a car wash, is just $3 to come in and use
oh,
it.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's absolutely phenomenal. Now, is that dry vac only, or can like say I've got something spilled and I spray some stuff on it.
I've found pretty much everything in it so far. So it'll handle some water. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That is absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so now how long have you guys been open?
We opened a month ago.
A month ago.
Yeah, so we're pretty brand new.
Yeah, and it's been good.
It's been fantastic.
How's the chamber working for you?
The
Are they
great.
sending you a lot of people?
They are.
They know a lot of people.
Doug's a regular.
Is he really?
He is.
Well, that's nice. Nice to know. Yeah. So if I come in and say, hey, I'm Doug. No, you can't get my car in here. It doesn't matter. Really, that's awesome. Okay, so just talk about exactly where you guys are at.
Okay, we are going to be just west of like where the Chick-fil-A is.
Oh yeah, okay.
And just east of US 19.
So you
probably about 3/4 of a mile east of US 19.
Go down and get some Chick-fil-A and drive up there and go, hey, let's eat lunch while you get your car washed.
Yeah.
That all works.
Another Georgia-based company.
Georgia. See, I'm an old Georgia boy.
Okay.
You didn't know that. See,
I did not know that.
I grew up in Dalton and Chickamauga area.
Okay.
So I listened. There's a phone number. That's weird.
Yeah.
So how do people find you?
You can find us on our website. It's just tidalwaveautospa.com. You can get my email on there. I'm not sure if it's going to be on the screen. My last name's a little complicated.
Well, we put the website on there so they can go get you there.
Perfect. And Michael.Prebison at tidalwaveautospa.com.
Okay.
Best way to reach me directly.
Awesome. So talk about the special again one more time, September?
For September, any of our packages, unlimited, is $9.99 for that first month. And then it would just auto recharge for whatever the packages you choose. Those are no commitment packages, so if you can come in, cancel the next day, you can cancel. We can change the plan if you'd like to do it throughout. It's very easygoing, all about, like I said, customer service. We're here for you. We're not going to pressure anybody. If you come in and say you don't want to plan, we're not pushy.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
Brother, it was really nice meeting you. All right, everybody, so if you got a dirty car, you know where to go now, especially if you're in Oldsmar. I live up in, I'll send my wife down to you. So you can clean that thing. It's dirty. So stick around. We got Doug coming, and then this is going to be great. We got the people that run this fabulous facilities. We're going to sit right here, and we're going to load this bar up with all the cool stuff and all the good liquors and wines that they have. So stay tuned, stick around, and we'll be right back. All right, we didn't save the best for last, but we saved the best almost for last because, dude, where we're at. I mean, come on.
This is pretty cool.
This is awesome. Superior Wine and Spirit. They got this cool little bar area back there that you can come and taste, but we're going to talk more about that later. Doug,
yes.
Mr. Bevis, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. You guys are moving and grooving, and I'm watching what you guys are putting up, what you're doing. You're not slowing down.
No, we really haven't, and that's the one thing. I just was before City Council the other night making a presentation about what we've done, our annual report and things like that, and they were, I think, kind of impressed by the amount of things that we are doing. We took a little bit of a hiatus. I mean, we were still working, but
right.
You know, during the COVID, and really what we tried to do was figure out how quickly we can return back to what we were in the new
right.
in the new norm, which I hate that word, but
it's just the horrible
you know,
word.
it's going to be Zooms, it's going to be hybrids of Zooms.
Mm-hmm.
I got to tell you though, to be honest, the thing that's killing us and that we're known for is our events. You
yes.
know, and
no Oktoberfest, right?
No Oktoberfest, no Oldsmar days, no Celebrate Oldsmar, but we are doing an Upper Tampa Bay Chamber Golf Tournament. It's the first one at East Lake Woodlands, so
that's great social distancing.
That is, yeah, which is the. You know, love East Lake Woodlands, but they've got a plastic piece between you and your partner in the golf cart.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't know exactly what that does, because when you get out on the tee box, you know,
right next to
we're next to each other. So, but
it is going on though.
Yeah,
right?
we're doing it, and
is it full? Are you still looking for people?
We might need some people, but the bigger part that we're finding is that so many of the businesses that are part of the chamber have just been jonesing for something to do, something corporate, some reason to get out. You know, Chichi Rodriguez is another one that does a lot of golf tournaments out there, and James and that group, and they're part of this one. But, you know, it's a big, these scramble and golf tournaments are big fundraisers for the nonprofit organizations. The Chamber works with 34 nonprofits, which is kind of unheard of in the chamber business, to really try and help and give back and things like that.
Right.
So, but yeah, we're pumped about it.
That's awesome.
You know, we're going to have some alcohol out at the golf tournament. So, yeah.
I hope I get to try some soon.
Yeah. You want to wrap this segment up as quick as you can.
No, I'm just kidding. No. So let's talk about the other big news that happened to the chamber.
What, Mark Howe?
Yeah.
Mark Howe has taken over as president and CEO. Jerry Peruzzi Jerry just did a great job.
Yes, absolutely.
Really kind of, especially from behind the books, really reworking the Chamber of Commerce. And I remember a story when Mark was out at Innisbrook doing a big chamber mixer out there.
Right.
And Mark started folding up the tables, and somebody from another chamber said, "What are you doing? Don't you just leave those tables here?" He goes, "No." He goes, "We have bought the tables because instead of paying X amount of dollars every time we want to rent them, we have purchased them. So within X amount of events." So
they paid for themselves.
And I'll tell you where it started. It started with Mark and Jerry at, I think it was Oktoberfest, and we were paying to rent cash registers. Broken cash registers, basically. So you would rent 6, you only needed 3, and you rented 6 because 3 of them would break. And, you know, and so for what we were renting them, basically we bought a whole batch of them, and now, you know, and we do that a lot. The spider boxes for electrical, you know what that is. We were paying a ton of money. You know, we bought an RV that we can store a lot of stuff in.
That is such a cool RV. And you guys get it wrapped and the whole nine.
Yeah.
You know, when you pull up, you know who
the chamber's
you're with.
here.
Yep, exactly.
So that's the one thing. And when I presented to the city, 37 new members through COVID, which I think, obviously you have people that drop off, but they drop off anyway for whatever reason. They go out of business. It's just not working. A chamber relationship, it takes two. You know, you can sign up to be a member and we can be the chamber, but if you don't participate by doing things like this, by coming to our chamber mixers, you're not taking advantage of what the chamber has to offer. So, you know, even through the COVID, but what we heard is that, and this is nothing against any of the other chambers in the area, that for whatever, maybe it's their board of directors, they're not doing events, you know, and we have continued to do events. We do mixers in the evening. We're doing one at Jack Willie's where we bring, you know, socially distancing and meeting the rules. But it's kind of our road to recovery to bring people back. We know all the restaurants and now bars are open, but they struggled. And so we're trying to bring back to the community. We just started, and I gave the city council a challenge. We signed up 100 of our chamber businesses, and it's in a passport. I didn't bring one with me, but and you basically go around and you get a stamp at every one of the businesses. So it encourages people to go to those businesses, everything from, you know, car washes to restaurants to CBD, that, you know, Dory at the CBD store and Pernique, where we were at last time. And so really trying to give the businesses some of our business. And then part of the entry was for them to go into the book was give us $50 in either gift cards or a gift basket, and then we're going to raffle them off. So we have 100 businesses, 40 of them in the city of Oldsmar. So I think really trying to do something to give back to the community and restart the, as we call, the road to recovery.
Well, I tell you, thanks to the Chamber of Commerce, you know, Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce in particular, we got the pleasure to work with the BAMA organization.
Yeah.
We streamed their virtual award ceremony.
Yeah.
Great group.
Yeah.
And we would have never met them if it wasn't for Jerry.
Right.
Having us come over a couple times, and we did stuff there. Awesome group.
Yeah,
awesome group.
And we find more and more that a lot of groups really do appreciate I went through the other day and listed all the things that we have done for this presentation to the city, and you don't really realize how many things you do throughout a year. You know, we just did, I was talking about the nonprofits, the Bright Futures scholarship thing for students. So We did it 2-night. We had to do it virtually. We normally would do it in person, but we had to do it virtually. And we had, I think, 50 kids sign up for it, maybe more than that, 50 or 60 kids. We had 8 nonprofits because what they need to do is get volunteer hours.
Right.
So we basically brought the two together and gave them that opportunity. We're going to try and recreate that in a more permanent setting where each of the nonprofits has their own segment that we've got a video of that then these kids throughout the year can go do that. But you know, that's just one of the things that we do, and it benefits, you know, us. The Education Foundation is another thing which the golf tournament benefits.
Right.
So we're not just a chamber of commerce. We really do try and reach out.
So let's talk about that tournament real quick. That's not just for the veterans. That's actually an educational side too, as well. Correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, which I think is, you know, this day and age is huge. You know,
it is absolutely.
The education. You know, who'd have thought that I'd have been a mayor of a city? I kind of laugh every time I think about it.
I keep forgetting about that. I think about, hey, he used to be the mayor, man.
Yeah.
I know 2 mayors personally. Well, I actually know 3 because I know George. So it's all good. So what else is going on in the chamber that we need to let the world know about?
Well, and I think let's talk a little bit about this segment, how this came about. We Mean Business and Chamber TV. Those I think are great. These are 2 things that we do. We'll talk about We Mean Business first. It's probably unique. I don't know how long we've been doing it. I know we did it when I was mayor. We did it when Mayor Roniker before me was there. And what happens is, again, with our chamber businesses, and we do it specifically within the city limits because we bring the mayor of the city manager, the assistant city manager, the head of the chamber, and we come to your business. We're going to try and come here next month, and really we're not there to write violations. We're not there to cite you for anything. We're there to find out, you know, how you like the city, how you like the chamber, why, and I can tell you exactly why they're here, why you picked this location, and I can tell you Oldsmar, I've heard this a million times, the reason they pick Oldsmar is the geographic location.
It's perfect.
I mean,
it's so centrally located.
If you took a circle and you put it around the Tampa Bay area, pretty much the center of the circle would be in Oldsmar, and that's what we find. We're close to the airports, but again, the We Mean Business, they think it is so cool that the mayor, and it had nothing to do with me as the mayor, it has to do with the fact that the mayor of the city cares enough to come out, the head of the chamber, you know, to come out to your business, and we were talking with the people at Superior, you don't really know what's going on in your own city. We have had some of the coolest visits, everything from going to the pawn shop right there on Tampa Road to Microlumen, which does heart valving, tubing for heart valving. I mean, and everything, you would never know that that's here. If you ever watch, what is it, How It Was Made, all that machinery that they do.
A lot of it's here
made
in Oldsmar.
Right here in Oldsmar. So we do that, and then one of the other things that we do is Chamber TV. And I don't really know the backstory on it, on how it came about, but I cannot think of a better way for somebody to showcase their own business. And you guys do a tremendous job with it. You bring out all of the equipment. It's about a 10 or 12 minute segment, depending on how many segments we have. We try and work in a nonprofit as well, and the host as well. But where else can you get a 10 or 12 minute production that really you kind of control? I tell them when I'm setting this up, you kind of control the flow of it. You provide us some questions that you can ask. You know, we had State Farm on here. We had a business broker. We had you know, Tidal Wave Car Wash. You know. And
we're getting ready to bring in Superior.
Superior.
I'm excited about this.
Yeah, you're looking. I can see your eyes.
Just like that?
You're looking right through me for a love of God.
I'm sorry.
But how did that come about? Let me turn it on you a little bit.
I know our last segment went short, so I can go a little bit long. It's real quick. I've been in part of chambers for years.
Right.
And I actually worked my way up from a member to the chair. And so I understand why it's important to have a chamber and why it's important to be a part of the chamber.
Sure.
You know, and so I'm like, there's got to be a way that we can get more out there to let people know that this is what the chamber does. Because a lot of people are like, well, I joined the chamber and I didn't get anything. Well, you didn't put anything into it.
Exactly.
So if you don't put anything into it, you're not going to get anything out of it. So my goal is to bring chambers together, all the chambers, right? And then we do a show, and we always highlight a new member, an old member, a nonprofit, a location, and then what's going on in the chamber, because that's important. People need to know. That's literally how it came about.
Yeah, and you and I are brothers of another mother because we were both part of iHeartRadio.
Right, exactly.
And so we have the media background.
So we get it.
Yeah, we get it. It's very important. You only get out what you put in. You know.
I've always said, I don't care what you do, if you don't put anything into it, you're never going to get anything out of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like opening a business and going, okay, I'm open, and no advertising. No one's going to walk through them doors unless they know what's going on and why they should be there. That's what it is. So with that being said, hey, we're getting ready for this last segment. Right, with Superior Wine and Spirits, going to be so cool, and it is so good. I'm telling you, I'm just almost giddy. We'll be right back after these messages. Hey everybody, I am behind some of the greatest people I have ever met in my life. Oh my God, this is Superior. Oh, this is Michael, this is Eric, this is Diane, and this is Chris. And that's right, I have them down here because I would never in a million years remember everything. Superior Wine and Spirits, and let me tell you something. The whole show, I've had the best self-control I've ever had in my life, right? Really? So let's start down here with Michael, because I know Michael. Mr. Michael Sheets, right?
Yes.
You got to get going. So we're going to look and tell people what you do.
I am the general manager of the distributor. I came out of retirement to work with these fine folks, and love what I'm doing. And we're a local Tampa-based neighborhood family-owned distributor here, statewide distribution, and with some great brands which you'll hear about.
That is awesome. So you're, if I were to come work for you, I got to talk to you? And I hear
the last person.
The last? Oh, God. I have to get through 4 people, and I got to be a drinker. No, I'm just kidding.
You're hired.
Oh, sweet. Awesome. So I know you got to get going, so
Yes,
we're going to hand
you.
that mic off to Mr.
Thank you.
Eric,
You got
and then
it.
Mr.
Thank
Eric
you.
and Miss Diane are going to just move down a little bit. So, Eric,
Yes.
Director of Operations.
Yes.
How do you stay sober?
Oh, a lot of discipline.
Right? I've been here for 2 hours, and I'm like, okay, I want some of that, and I want to get a little bit of this. I think we put a little bit of this over there, and it'll be really good.
Well, there are some great products, but I work with some great people,
Right.
and we have a good family structure here. So it's a lot of fun to come to work and be around everybody in the office. So I'm not out there doing too much, but I'm in here and I'm enjoying what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I knew it was a great place when I walked in, and she had 4 boxes of donuts. I'm like,
Yes.
How can you go wrong? Donuts and you got liquor. I mean, come on. Is this not
Good combination, right? Yeah.
I think earlier we asked if we got thumbs up, put a cooker in the back, or a smoker. So I'm like,
We can make
got
that happen.
Smoker, donuts, liquor. I'm in heaven. I don't ever want to leave. I mean, I got a loft up here. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can let me just stay right up there. So, Miss Diane,
Yes.
what got you into this world?
Well, I've been working with Jan Stevenson for over 20 years, Hall of Fame LPGA player, and she has an amazing line of wine from Paso Robles, California, and I've helped her with her golf career. Oh, sorry.
There you go.
And so we had a problem trying to find a distributor to get the wine out. It was winning all kinds of awards everywhere. And as a joke, we said, well, we probably need to be a distributor. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Well, this became available, and we purchased it April 1st, the shutdown.
Shutdown.
And we went, what did we do?
Well, at least you're going to be happy through the shutdown. I mean, if you look at, you got to look at the silver lining, right? So,
I don't drink.
Oh my!
Not much, anyway.
Oh my!
take
Oh
much.
my! Oh my! And then now we have Chris.
Hello.
So Chris, what do you do here?
So I'm the director of sales. So We're currently hiring more salespeople. Mike and I are actually taking a look at some applicants now. Obviously, we hire locally, and that's why he had to exit stage left, because we're actually doing a interview today to hire somebody locally, which is great, putting people back to work. But I go into restaurants, on-premise, off-premise, pretty much anybody that has a license, I go and try to sell them something.
Right.
We do a lot of day drinking because tastings are one of the main parts of doing that. So I don't mind doing that at all.
You and Uber got a really good relationship, don't you?
Yeah, for Christmas and for birthdays, I just get Uber cards from people.
There you go, right?
Takes care of it. But yeah, so I'm here to move the sales forward, move the sales staff forward, employ people around the Tampa Bay area to help us do that.
Right.
So,
Now this you're not, you just don't sell liquor to sell liquor. There's a reason behind all this. Am I correct?
well, yeah. Well, one, it makes everybody money, and everybody
Makes
needs
everybody
to-
happy.
Makes everybody happy, absolutely. But I think that we have a COVID came in and shut a lot of people down. It changed the game. I hate the new normal. I heard
Yeah,
that before,
I hate
which
that word.
I don't believe that. I think normal is going to go back to normal at a certain point here for the most part. But what we can do here is we're not one of the big guys. We're not the we're not the Southerns and the RDCs of the world. So when you come to us, you're going to get really high quality products. You're going to get them at a quality price, and we look after the little guy. We cater to the guys that are not the chains.
Right.
We are in Total Wine, where we do have 14 products or so in Total Wines, but mostly what we do is the local community. So what does that mean? You're going to have brands that you're not going to find in public. So you're going to be able to offer something different to your customer base. They're going to get a quality price on it. So we can help the guys that have been closed or shut down primarily make more money, because they're going to make more on our products and they taste good. So you're going to hopefully sell more of those to your
Right.
customers. So
I heard you. Now, 'cause this is something. Now, what a lot of people don't know about me is corporately I did work a few corporate jobs, and I
Yep.
was a buyer for the Adamsmark Hotel.
Yep.
And I did our liquor orders, whole 9 yards. And I knew that if I bought, the only way to get good pricing is I bought cases and cases and cases, right?
Yeah.
But you're okay with if you got a bar, a small mom and pop like that. I just want one a bottle.
Well, first off, if you have a contact over at the hotel, we can talk about that. But anyway,
Still might, you
yeah.
never know.
So anyway, so yeah, if you want to buy one bottle, you want to buy one case, you want to buy 100 cases. Obviously, quantity is going to dictate
absolutely.
pricing. But we don't have. We don't have minimums in the local area. If you're over in Cocoa Beach, we would want a minimum, because we have to ship it, and that costs money. Most of the time, you're going to see one of us delivering. So your salesperson, your owner, your back of the house guy is going to be someone that you're going to see.
Right.
And we want people to purchase what they need, not what we need them to need. So you go with the bigger companies, and let's just say Tito's. Everybody loves Tito's. Well, to get a good price on that, they want you to buy 10 cases or 5 cases of something else. We don't do that.
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not going to make you money. It's not going to make us money. So no, we don't do that.
That's awesome. Let's talk about some of the lines you've got. I mean,
Okay.
So first one I'm going to show. I know this is not Jets, right? But I'm a tequila guy. Look at that! Oh my gosh! And there, I know I'm showing you. I'm showing it here, but I got pictures up right now. That is one of the most beautiful bottles I've ever seen in my life, and I guarantee you, it looks like it tastes really good. We'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Jan has her own line of rums.
Yep.
Correct. And
Okay, so Jan has her own line of flavored rum, and then she has a craft gin, vodka, and rum, and then a whole line of wine.
this is a medal winner.
They all are.
That's
I just
medal
didn't
winners.
get them all on
Oh,
the balls
see.
This
Look
one
at
has
this.
won 7 gold medals and 2 double golds.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. So what else we got going on here?
She also has a full line of wines from Paso Robles, California, and everything, cabs, red blends, white blends, everything you could possibly think of. No more Merlot, because we didn't have much, and I bought all the rest to drink myself. I did, 100%.
COVID.
It's at my house. Just in case.
COVID, wink, 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 wink.
Absolutely. The other one of the other brands that we really stand behind is we brought in a whiskey company, Virginia Distilling Company. They make 100% single malt, and then 4 different types of casks. The single malt is kind of like your Macallan's, but a better price, and if you ask me, better quality.
Right.
Definitely want to get your lips to glass so you can taste it. And then our wines, we have wines from all over the world. Vinny Mundi is one of the wines that we carry. They make what's called Casa Marrone. Everything is organic. Everybody wants to hear that word, on their wines.
Right.
One of the best Pinots I think that you can get, especially for the price. A couple of different red blends, also an Appassimento. Anytime you want to go and try any of those, Ed's Fine Wine over in Safety Harbor is one of the places you definitely want to go.
That was my next question. So if people want to try, where do we go?
Any of the whiskey products and most of Jan's products are in any of the Total Wines throughout the state. So there's what, 31 locations?
31.
There are many liquor stores and establishments that do mixed drinks with us. I would say locally we support the Social in Newport Richey. We support everybody that purchases from us, but they do a fantastic job.
Love the Social.
Love the Social.
Love the Social.
Go have a Hurricane or a Mango Tango or a Pineapple Fizz. Those are all our drinks. And then Ed's, they're a huge supporter, and we're a huge supporter of theirs. They carry lots of really good wine, and a lot of them are ours. So we like to see that.
That's awesome.
But yeah, you can get on premise and off premise. You can find us pretty much around the Tampa area.
That's cool. That is so cool. I'm just blown away with. No, I saw something on your shelves which I've not seen. Is it a Moscow Mule mix?
Yes. Okay, so do we have one of these?
I got a feeling someone's going to go get me one and kind of hand it to me.
I have a feeling that we are going to definitely get that. So for places that have a 2 COP,
right,
and they can only do beer. Yeah, they can only do beer and wine. We have a couple of different products that can make you stand out from the crowd. And here comes one, as a matter of fact. I love Moscow Mules. So Bar 41 is one of our staple products. So what this is it's made from wine. It's a wine-based product. It's 17% alcohol. It definitely tastes like a Moscow Mule. The price point is fantastic, so you can offer a mixed drink, but still be legal.
Legal.
Yep, and still be legal.
Show them how they can be a bartender and know how to make them.
You're an expert bartender. That's all you got to do.
You just passed.
You just passed. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So there's multiples of these.
Yeah, there's 5 different types. Your margaritas, your Mai Tai, Moscow Mule, Cosmopolitan, and a Bloody Mary. So one of the ways, Steve, hello, up at Brick City Eatery, he's a pizza place. And what he needed to do was compete on Tuesdays with the Mexican restaurant next door, because obviously Taco Tuesday and $5 margaritas. So he makes a taco pizza and then has the margaritas from Bar 41, because he's only a 2 COP, and now he has the opportunity to be able to compete with that, and it's worked out very well.
Okay, so if you're a bar owner, right? If you are a restaurant owner, if you are a tapery or liquor store, you need to get a hold of Chris, right?
Don't stop there. If you're a homeowners association,
oh, that's right.
Let's say you do a party once or twice a year and you pull a license. Well, you can purchase from us. You can't, if you're a normal public, you can't just walk through and purchase from us. You have to have a license. But if you're a homeowners association, let's say, and you're going to have that yearly get-together,
right,
we'll definitely service you.
All right, so Chris, they're going to call you at 800-296-1912, and you just ask for Chris, or your extension's 820, I believe.
Yep.
Right, so look, folks, go look them up. If you were here, you would be in heaven. I'm telling you right now. Thanks for watching this week. We really appreciate it. This has been the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, and we'll see everybody next week on My Chamber TV.
And thank you for coming out. We
Thank you.
appreciate it.
You're welcome.